Hello everyone, I'm Sean.
This is Hoon.
We are the Courageour Frights, back once again for another movie review.
Yes.
This time we did Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yes.
Ghostbusters!
Yes. From the Atari 2600.
Yeah, they should have had that sound. Paul Rudd could have said it.
Yeah, I probably could have, actually.
So, this is the... What is this? The fifth movie?
Yeah, it'd be the fourth with the, I guess, the original cast.
Yeah.
But the fifth Ghostbuster movie.
Overall.
Yeah.
If you count the 2016 thing. Which
yeah.
seems to be in its own continuity, but...
Yeah, because I know everyone hated it, like, horribly.
Yeah. This one continues from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Personally, I think if you liked Ghostbusters Afterlife, you'd probably like this.
Yeah, because it has a very similar tone and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of, like, critics don't like this movie for whatever reason, but,
yeah.
like, I thought it was fine. Like,
yeah, I thought it was, the jokes hit pretty well, the acting was fairly decent.
Yeah, some people said the jokes weren't funny or whatever, but I mean, first off, there were people in our
theater. Yeah, this was like the first time we've seen people in the theater in a while.
And second, the people laughed that were in the theater, so somebody thought it was funny.
Yeah.
There actually were some parts I didn't like in this.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan. Like, I've seen it, and I'm a huge 80s fan, but for whatever reason, Ghostbusters really wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't watch Ghostbusters until, like, way later, so I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have nostalgia for it.
I've seen Ghostbusters when I was younger or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like the first Ghostbusters. Second Ghostbusters is alright. It's kind of like the first one, but, like, not as good.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the newest one that people hated.
Yeah, the 2016
Yeah, the 2016 one.
Yeah.
And I liked Afterlife, and then this one I do like, too.
Yeah, this one is... And we both like Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I like Finn Wolfhard. I know that guy.
Yeah. Yes.
And, yeah, the cast is pretty good. McKenna Grace is still pretty good as, like, the awkward teen girl.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Is she actually young, or is she kind of like...
Yeah, I think so.
Is she an actual, like, teenager, or is she, like,
yeah,
an adult
I feel like
trying to be
she's
a
a little
teenager?
bit younger.
Okay.
Finn Wolfhard's, like, 22 or something.
Yeah, because he said he's 18 in
Playing
here,
18.
but I guess that could be pretty... You could probably
That's not that
interchangeable.
far of a stretch. I mean, that's, like, Hollywood.
It'd be like Steve McQueen saying he's an 18-year-old.
It's not like... If this was made in the 50s, then Paul Rudd would have been the 18.
Yeah, Paul Rudd would be like,
but,
hello, fellow children.
Not that Paul Rudd really looks much older than anybody else, but he hasn't aged in 30 years. But, yeah, I thought this was fine. I mean, it's got a ton of references to old stuff. Like I said, I'm not that big of a fan of Ghostbusters, but I even recognize the commercials for the toys.
And you could tell some of the stuff, though, was like, kind of like...
well, there's a couple of things in here that there's no reason
for
the nostalgia factor. We'll get to that.
Yeah, there's one scene in particular which
yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They had the commercials for the toys. Apparently, there's a lot of references to, like, the cartoon.
Yeah.
The first two movies have a lot of references. Yeah, so about the unnecessary nostalgia.
Yeah.
There is one scene in this that is kind of ridiculous. I think, they're in the library.
Mm-hmm.
And the ghost from the library ghost, which is actually the very first ghost you ever see in the first movie, is just in there for some reason.
Yeah, and she's doing the same thing. And it's like, that's just unnecessary.
Is she just in every library?
Yes. Just kind of hanging out, I guess.
Because it's the library ghost, so she's in all the libraries.
All the libraries in existence has that same ghost.
Okay, and she just does the same thing forever. Which I guess that's what a ghost does.
But even though in the original one looked better than this one.
Well, yeah.
Because that was like an actual person and everything else. So it actually had like a kind of a ghostly effect or whatever.
Yeah, this one I think there was a mix of practical and CG in this, though, because I think Slimer looked like a practical effect. That was like CG enhanced.
Yeah, because I think Slimer in the original had a practical effect as well.
Yeah.
But it was like a weird... They did it some specific way where it was like an image that they just kind of like put over the film or something.
Yeah, because this almost looked like an animatronic or a big like rubber puppet.
Yeah.
That they just enhanced with CG.
Which that always works.
Yeah.
They do have a couple interesting ideas in here though, with because like one main premise of the movie is like the reactor, whatever, the storage unit is getting full, so they make like an offshoot storage unit.
Yeah.
At like an old aquarium or something like that. And you can see the ghosts and stuff like that, and you can actually like study them and interact with them.
Yeah, that actually reminded me of the movie like 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Because there was just like a bunch of random chambers full of ghosts.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was kind of cool. They had real lax security there though.
Yeah. It's like they had like the power goes out and all the ghosts can come out and just do whatever they want.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if the power goes out, then
you're screwed.
Proton packs like don't work, and then they can just come out.
Yeah, just come out and just start attacking things and everything else.
And was it Kumail Nanjiani plays the Fire Master?
Yeah, he's
whatever.
Like. So actually another that actually brings it up. Like I guess they had like old school Ghostbusters that weren't like they didn't have technology, but they were like Avatar, like element benders or something. Yeah, I don't know,
because he's like a firebender.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, he's an idiot, but
yeah,
it opens up a weird implication in the Ghostbusters universe. Now there's just like X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men are there.
Ghostbusters, like there's a guy that can just bend fire.
Yeah,
and it's like if he trains and masters that ability, it's gonna be ridiculous because they're all gonna come in with their proton packs. And then he's just like a human flamethrower.
Yeah, he just brings fire into them. It's like great.
That seems excessive.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And then the part with McKenna Grace's side character, like side plot, where she's befriending this ghost is almost like a Casper thing or something. That was kind of cool in a way because it opened up this notion that maybe the Ghostbusters aren't necessarily going about this the right way.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of just like capturing any ghost they see instead of maybe trying to figure out why they're ghosts and help them move on to the other world or something. Which that opened up an opportunity there, which I guess they sort of did, but at the same time they kind of ignore that.
Yeah.
Because it just falls for the usual like, oh, she's using her for her own means or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something there's a real weird part where she's the super intelligent one, but she decides to go into the facility and then astral project her soul out of her body.
Yeah, it's like this doesn't seem like a good idea.
It seems like a bad idea. It's almost like Doctor Strange, but through technology.
And I think that's what I think that was like their whole plan all along, anyways. Because it's like their plan is because the way the ancient god monster that they have, or what I don't know what his name is, like the main bad guy.
It's like Garaka. Right?
Yeah, Garaka, the Sumerian
or
necromancer
something.
or something. I don't know what that guy was supposed to be, but
yeah, he's like. I don't know. He's
kind of like a lich or something.
Yeah, he's like commands ice because he's from South Asia.
Yeah.
A place renowned for its ice.
Yes. Yes. That's how you know you're so terrifying that your desert place has ice.
Yeah. He's supposed to be from the Indus Valley. It's like, oh, okay.
But apparently he can control ghosts. Like, his thing is he, talks to them and he, mind controls ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's his whole thing. So their whole plan was to get her to astral project herself outside of her body so they can do the chant or whatever. Because they needed a chant from an actual human.
Yeah.
To...
In, proto...
break open the Pokeball.
Sumerian or something.
Yeah. Break open the Pokeball so they come out.
Yeah, so they can release, Gengar.
Which is kind of a... Yeah, pretty much. Which is kind of it's kind of a weird plot, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some convoluted stuff in here. Some of the complaints are that there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
And it's I can sort of see that complaint here.
Yeah, there's some things that they probably could have made more simplified. There's probably a better way to get that guy to be, actual villain.
Yeah.
It is interesting that you have, an ice villain, though.
Yeah.
You normally see fire all the time. Or
True.
whatever.
Although it's kind of funny that we've got Frozen Empire, and then next week we have Godzilla Kong, the new Empire.
The new Empire, all the empires.
Where
which has
the
ice there, too.
villain is Shimo, which is an ice titan.
Yeah.
And possibly is the one that caused the Ice Age.
Which is kind of... Yeah, that's actually kind of weird, too, because we just watched a trailer when we were watching this movie about If... Which is about imaginary friends.
Oh, yeah,
like
we just did Imaginary not that long ago.
That happened just recently. It's like all these ideas just came out all at once.
They're all the same thing.
Yeah. So it's like really strange. But
yeah.
But other than that, it's like, I'm not sure, was there anything really...
Yeah, other than that, I mean, I think all the characters in this were good. I liked other than the only guy that really seems extraneous in this for nostalgia bait is Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's like, you have to put him in there because you have to, because of Ghostbusters. Yeah. But like, he doesn't do anything in this.
He literally throws pens at
that
the
was
guy.
Funny, yeah. There was a segment where he's like interviewing Kumail Nanjiani's character.
Yeah.
He's like chucking pens at him.
Yeah, he's like, did that make you mad?
He's just trying to piss him off to get him to see if he could control the fire.
Yeah, because I guess they're not exactly sure that he's a firebender or whatever at this point, but...
Well, he's not either.
Yeah, he's like, he has spiritual energy in his body or whatever, because he's like been passed down through the line.
Yeah.
So he starts trying to determine what's happening.
They go through and they scan his grandma's sex dungeon.
Yeah, that's basically...
They find that he has...
It's like, will there be change in a sex dungeon? It's like, yes.
Yeah, I knew that as soon as I said that. That was going to be bad.
Yeah, as I say, some people, like, some of the reviews and stuff were saying how the jokes didn't land. The jokes landed pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, they were fine. I
mean,
like, I keep saying it's fine, but that basically is true. Like, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, as I said, like, this movie doesn't have to be, like, Citizen Kane level here.
No, it's just a fun action movie. It's got a lot of humor. I thought there was more jokes in this than there was in the last one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
Afterlife has almost no jokes.
Yeah, I think Afterlife was very...
That was super serious.
Yeah, it was serious for, like, majority of the movie.
Afterlife is a weird movie, because Afterlife almost feels like it's trying to be an homage to, like, a Steven Spielberg adventure film from the 80s that never existed.
Yeah, pretty much.
This one, I think, was taking more of the tone of Ghostbusters. Yeah. Where it was more of, like, a comedy.
Comedy, and it's, like, almost very, the humor is very, like, sarcastic humor, which they do a lot about.
Yeah, there's a lot of sarcastic deadpan humor.
Yeah, even though it has Peck in there. Peck's he's the guy in the first movie where he's like, shut it all down, or he's like the inspector or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they got everybody.
Yeah, he was like the mayor in this one because he's been his whole thing is that he hates the Ghostbusters so much that he wants to shut it down, even though he caused the first movie's like problems.
Yeah, it seems weird. But yeah, this has, I think they pretty much shoved everybody they could into this, except for Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis.
Yeah, I think Moranis, retired.
He's not really an actor anymore, and I don't know why Sigourney Weaver wasn't in this.
Yeah,
I feel like she was in the post-credit scene for the last one, though.
I'm pretty sure she was.
I think it was her and Bill Murray were in the post-credit.
Yeah,
scene.
Because I think Bill Murray was in the first. I haven't seen the first movie since it came out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bill Murray was in, like, the very end scene. Because Ernie Hudson's kind of, like, your main, like... He's, like, the Xavier of the group or whatever. He has, he has the money or whatever. He's, like, the guy.
Right. Yeah, he pretty much put it together.
Yeah.
He's keeping them all afloat because he's, like, the businessman.
Which I think when Harold Ramis was trying to get this movie made, I think it was, like, Ernie Hudson's character. I don't even know. What is his name? Or Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson's his name.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson was his name. Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd they were all three trying to get this. This is Bill Murray was trying not to, because I don't know what he was trying to do.
I don't understand Bill Murray.
Yeah, it was like...
He was like, no, I'm not going to make one, and then Harold Ramis dies, and then the second he's dead, he's like, let's make a Ghostbuster.
Let's make a Ghostbuster movie. It was weird. I don't understand that. But they were trying to do it for the longest time. That's why you had, like, out of all the original Ghostbusters, I think Ernie Hudson and, like, Dan Aykroyd were your two like major driving forces in this whole movie which kind of makes sense because they were trying to get this thing going for so long.
Yeah, I think Dan Aykroyd was the one that actually came up with the idea and everything first.
Yeah,
because he's like really into paranormal and like ghosts and aliens and all that stuff. So yeah, so I think if you're only going to get one of them, Dan Aykroyd's the one to get. But, they did a lot with Ernie Hudson last time. This time they got them all. The only one who's just like randomly there is Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Like 2 scenes.
Like he comes in and he drinks.
He just walks in and starts drinking whiskey.
He finds his like stash from the 1980s or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was pretty weird. But yeah, overall, I think it was fine. The family dynamic was good.
Yeah.
Another one that was weird was Finn Wolfhard's girlfriend from the first movie randomly shows up in this because she's working as an intern at the super secret Ghostbuster facility.
Yeah, that no one knows about.
The actual Ghostbusters know nothing about.
Because they're like, we need a place to store the new ghosts. It's like, she's just there.
And they just didn't bother telling the people living at the firehouse.
Yeah, the ones doing all the work.
Yeah, that there's another ghost-busting facility.
Yeah.
But she's there. The random chick from like Oklahoma or wherever they were at.
She's just like working there.
Okay.
But I don't know. Did they talk? Did she say anything about being in an internship in the last movie? I don't remember that.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit.
It's weird. Like I don't know why she's there, other than she was in the first movie, so now she's got to be in this.
Yeah, because she didn't have a very big part in this.
And Podcast is there. Like he just moved to. Like they all just moved to New York.
Yeah, he just went from.
I understand the family, like the Spanglers or whatever, moving to New York. And I understand Paul Rudd going with them because he's, like, dating their mom or whatever.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But why is Podcast there?
I think he did say something earlier in the movie. He said he was, like, he told his family that he was going to, like, a space camp.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
he was just, like, living with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, he's just living there because he, like, was doing his podcast. Because Dan Aykroyd does a podcast. Like, he works with podcasts.
Yes.
Like, what is his name, actually? I keep calling him podcast. Is this
No, they just call him podcast.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure he has a name. Maybe he doesn't. I have no idea. But they just call him podcast.
So his whole thing is, like, he's tries to find spiritual energy in, like, objects.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you have, like, a traumatic event of, like, I don't know, a doll or something.
Or a watch.
Yeah, or a watch that beeps whenever you walk in a room.
Yeah, the watch beeps, and then they test it, and they can't find anything, so he smashes it.
Yeah, smashes it. It's part of his podcast. But
comically huge hammer.
Yeah. He's like the melee character here.
Yeah.
But, well, actually, I guess that could possibly set stuff up as well in the future in another movie. If they even make another movie, but I think it is doing well in the box office right now.
I don't think it was super expensive.
No, the budget was $100 million.
$100 million is not much.
Yeah.
For this type of movie.
Yeah, and it made $61.6 million already. So.
Well, this type of movie proves that those $250-300 million things aren't worth it.
Yeah.
Because the effects didn't suffer that much from this.
No.
I mean, you can complain all you want about the CG in this looking like garbage, but movies that cost $250 million still have issues with CG. So,
like if you look really bad.
Yeah, this proves you can make a decent looking movie for $100 million.
And you have like scenes like where you don't really need anything, where it has like that tricycle scene where it's like going down the street. It actually was kind of creepy.
Yeah,
it's like literally just pedaling self down this road,
right?
By itself. True. Which that'll probably cost like $0 or something. Probably just need some like
pushing a tricycle.
Yeah, just have like electronic thing on the tricycle or something to make it moving.
Yeah, that could work.
I think most of the effects are like ice effects. You know, where like had like the ice thing coming out of the ground. I'm sure that's probably where most of it came from.
Yeah, probably going with the storm effects and all that kind of stuff.
Which there was another reviewer who was complaining about.
And the villain.
Yeah, the villain.
The villain looks like Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like Slender Man or something. But I guess there was someone else was complaining about like the villain wasn't a big, gigantic, huge villain like in the other ones, because he had like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one had the Statue of Liberty.
So this guy's complaining because there's no kaiju?
Yeah, no kaiju villain.
Is that same guy gonna bitch next week when Godzilla Kong comes out?
Yeah, probably, because it was a critic, so probably
20% rating.
It's like that's what's like. It's this type of movies. Not all ghosts have to be a big kaiju villain.
Why would a ghost be a giant monster anyway?
Yeah. Because I know Zool had it because that was like you choose your own destroyer or whatever.
Yeah.
So he basically made its own thing. But I kind of wonder what they would like do in the third one if they were to. I'm assuming it's going to be something with the objects or something like that, or maybe another god or something. But
they could do that. I mean, with his object idea, it's almost like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
They have like a room full of possessed objects or spirits or something. Like you were saying something when we left the theater about like possessed samurai armor,
or like a katana or something.
Yeah, and it's like they literally have that in the Conjuring universe. So it's like you could do ideas like that. And I'm sure they're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in Annabelle Comes Home or something, but like I'm sure they're not going to do like a full film about it.
Yeah.
They talked about doing it, but I think they're wrapping up the Conjuring universe.
Probably. So Conjuring's like one of those things. It's like over with.
Yeah, you literally could take like ideas from that and then stick it in your Ghostbusters story.
Just put like comedic effect to it.
Or take ideas from like random episodes of the show or something like that.
Yeah, they probably could do quite a bit with that because the show is pretty popular.
I think the show is the reason why Ghostbusters is so popular.
Yeah, probably.
The original was had a huge impact when it came out.
Yeah.
But I think the staying power for young audiences came from that.
Yeah, because that's where the kids part. Because the first movie is not a kids movie.
No, it's not.
It's pretty.
You got blowjob ghosts.
Yeah, it's got blowjob ghosts. Like the jokes are very. They're not kid friendly jokes.
No, and the humor is so sarcastic and dry.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of young children would get a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it was more, I think the popularity with kids was more the sci-fi tech. The proton packs are cool. The car's cool. The ghosts are cool. Slimer's like a mascot character.
Yeah,
like
Slimer's a mascot.
Like, I think that's the reason why it had appeal to kids.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to appeal to that demographic.
No, I think originally it was like almost like an SNL skit or something.
Pretty much. Like, that seems to be basically what it was.
Which I guess all the people in there were all SNL people, I think. I'm pretty sure. Dan Aykroyd was.
Yeah, there's
Bill Murray.
There's SNL, and then there was like another show, a couple shows going on at the same time. That were like that. They were pulling people in from. But yeah, and I think Dan Aykroyd initially wanted to do like a serious horror movie or something like that, and then it ended up becoming this.
Oh yeah,
because he's a comedian and he brought in comedians.
Yeah,
to help write it, and it just turned into a comedy. But I feel like the humor in this does fit the Ghostbusters universe. Though, because a lot of it is that dry, sarcastic humor. That's how Paul Rudd's humor is. That's how Finn Wolfhard's humor is. McKenna Grace. All the new people are doing that same kind of style of comedy that was in the first one. Yeah. I'm not saying it's on the same level by any means. Yeah. But it's that same feel.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of wonder if I'm assuming the next one, if they do make another one, it's probably going to have Ernie Hudson again and probably Dan Aykroyd, but maybe they might have a lesser part of it, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they had a bigger role here than they did last time.
Yeah.
They were just a minor cameo in Afterlife.
Yeah, Afterlife, it was not them at all.
Yeah. They're in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Except for Bill Murray. But the other ones are basically sprinkled throughout the movie. But Dan Aykroyd's in this a lot.
And I don't think Bill Murray probably is a little bit hard to put in a movie like this, because didn't he get, like, in trouble or something? Someone was kind of like...
Yeah, he was, like, borderline canceled or something. But I guess he's weathered it.
Yeah.
he's still in movies. So.
Yeah, I think he probably is just like Bill Murray, so kind of expected.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's kind of hard to tell, because it seemed like there's parts where Bill Murray scenes are a little bit longer. They just like cut it a little bit. I wonder if that's probably a reason why.
Yeah, there was a couple times in there that I felt like maybe he had another line.
Yeah, or like two. Then they just cut it.
Yeah, it was probably like that wasn't appropriate, so they just took it out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that was about. But there was a couple scenes with him that looked like they were supposed to go longer, and then they cut it.
Yeah, they just cut it because he would be talking, and then he would say a line, and it just would cut. Like it was just like say a line.
It like lingers on him for a second, like he was about to say something, and then they just cut to the.
Yeah, like one of it showed him like walking around, like he's just like walking around confused. It was like what? Like I think he was supposed to say something, but maybe not.
Maybe he forgot his line. I don't know.
Probably had that actual alcohol in that whiskey bottle, probably.
It could be it, too. You never know. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I would say check it out.
Yeah, check it out in the theaters. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's decent.
Especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan, for sure.
Yeah, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, I would definitely check it out. If you're just you want to see like a early summer, springtime, actiony
comedy
for that you could take a kid to.
Yeah,
I'd say this is fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Ghost Corps, is that like a thing is that a special thing like a dragon room or something? I was kind of wondering what that was.
Oh yeah, the Ghost Corps thing at the end. Yeah, Ghost Corps, I'm not sure. Maybe that is...
Because it popped up a couple times, and I'm like, is Ghost Corps like their thing?
It's like a sub-branch of Sony that's just designed for Ghostbusters stuff. It could be.
Okay. I mean, if
there is a Ghostbusters animated film or something coming out.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's like they have like multiple projects set up.
Okay, yeah. If anyone in the comments wants to comment,
yeah, let us know.
Yeah, exactly what Ghost Corps is.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to check out. So. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for our review of Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. So if you like this video, leave that like. Consider subscribing for more like this in the future, and you too could feel a strong falling within. See ya.